So basically what happened is this. Notice here we had R small, R large, and here we had this big blue. Okay. So we concentrated on some number of vertices here, say 2dk plus 1 of them. No, it was 2dk plus k plus 1. Okay. Now why? So first of all, if I pick any dominating set of size at most k, it might contain some vertex from R small, right? How many, these vertices can dominate how many of them? These guys degree had 2d, so they can dominate 2d into k. So let's just knock them off. Okay. So suppose this is, so how many of them are left now? At least k plus 1. And what are we saying? Look at how does their neighborhood look like here? Their neighborhood is some core and then they have some disjoint petals, right? If I pick a vertex from here, how many guys can he dominate here? Exactly 1. He cannot dominate 2 vertices here because the only common neighbor they have is in this. So if I pick a vertex from here, he can dominate 1 person. If I can pick a vertex from here, he can dominate 1 person. So, but I have k plus 1 guys here, so I cannot pick k plus 1 guys to dominate this k plus 1 guys. So I better pick someone from here. And that was the only argument.
What was your universe that led to the person?
Huh?
What was your universe?
Universe was RL. Right? So now if these vertices cannot be dominated by this, look, they might have neighbors here, I am not saying that they may, but since I am not picking any more vertices from here, right, these guys can only be dominated locally from these guys, right, though they can have an unbounded neighbor here. This is where I am playing my game, right. These guys could have unbounded neighbor, but if I pick anything here, it can only dominate certain number of guys. So let's get rid of those guys. Now I know that these guys are dominated purely here, then I can forget all the domination vertices from RS because they are useless for me. And when I look here, if I do not pick from core, if I pick from petal, then all vertex from petal can dominate only one of these guys. And that was an argument. Okay. Is it more clearer now? Okay. But now please concentrate, okay? So if it was a degenerate graph, now I am now saying Kij free graph as a subgraph. Is it a generalization of this? Look, can a KDD free graph contain KD plus 1 comma D plus 1? No. If you contain KD plus 1, complete graph on KD plus 1, D plus 1, then its degeneracy is D plus 1. Is degeneracy not D? So if I can get a kernel for fixed I comma j, then this generalizes this. Now let's try to understand, okay, it's a literally one line argument. We make it maths work, okay. So please understand this, okay. Okay, it's really trivial, okay. It's just that the idea is very simple, but it will take us to get somewhere, okay. Here is my blue and here is my red. I want to pick k vertex from the red to dominate all the blue vertex. It means, can you say something? There is a vertex in red of degree how much? At least b over k. Right? If every vertex has degree strictly less than b over k, then none. Okay. So let's pick a vertex of highest degree and let's zoom in. Okay. So I'm just imagine that it sees all these guys. Okay. Either you pick this vertex. If you do not pick this vertex, then these guys must be dominated by some other k guys. Okay, fine. So there is some other k guys, some other vertex here. Now among all the vertices, look the one which sees at least 1 by kth fraction of this. If there is no such vertex, what can you argue? Then this vertex must go into the solution, right? If this vertex doesn't go into the solution, then there must be some vertex which has as a neighborhood 1 by kth fraction of this. Okay, let's zoom in here. Fine. I repeat my argument. Either one of these two vertex goes into my solution, or if none goes, then there must exist another vertex which sees 1 by kth fraction of this. Okay, great. Fine. Let's zoom into this. Okay, I keep doing this. How many times can I do? Huh? No. Notice one thing. Every time I'm making some kij. Right? So I vertex from the red here, right? I can do this only j minus 1 times. If blue is too much, I cannot do this several number of times. You understand what I am trying to tell you, right? Otherwise I will get, look, I keep doing this, I keep doing this, I keep doing this. Suppose I succeeded. So first time, what, so here the way to think of this is a decision process. Every time I am saying, so what is my algorithm? Either it outputs a set S from which you need to pick something from the solution or not. This is exactly what it does, right? It outputs a set S of size j minus 1, j minus 1 or I minus 1, I don't know, depending on how you want to say. Yeah, I want I guys from here, right? So I minus 1 because I want j from here, right? So I minus 1 from here. And how many times I am going to do this? Look, kij. So I want I guys from here and j guys from here. Okay. So we will see how much I need, right? And how many times I am going to repeat this process? First time I am looking at b by k fraction. Second time I am looking at 1 by kth fraction of b by k, right? So I will look at this k power j minus 1 times. Because, and if this is more than, what am I doing? I minus 1 time. If this is greater than or equal to j, then what can you say? Look, I succeed first time, I look at this guy. I find second time, I look at this neighborhood. I keep succeeding it. If this is greater than or equal to j, what can you say? It means right. So what will we say? So we will say, right, so if I succeed this way to j times, I will get kij. So I will not succeed at all. This is for clear. So what will, let's try to make it a bit more. So I will say, here's my procedure. I check, is there a vertex V with degree greater than or equal to j times ki minus 1? Then what can I say? Either this vertex will go into the solution, or I will find another vertex. Such that their common intersection is how much? J times k I minus 2, right? So here is my iterative procedure. Okay, is there a vertex with degree this? Okay, now two cases. Either there exists a vertex W such that NV intersection NW is greater than or equal to j times k I minus 2, or V must belong to solution, right? So this is my branching depth, right? So if there is a vertex degree, then either I find this or I will be able to conclude this. Now here, either VW, there exists, like every solution contains either of V comma W, or there exists, let's call it, I will just for the sake of W1, W2, or there exists W3 such that W1, W2 such that intersection of I equal to 1, 2, 3 and Wi is how much? Greater than equal to j times k I minus 3, right? I keep doing this. You understand? So at the end of this procedure, what will I output you? I will output you a set S, because this procedure can only go down up to how much? I minus 1, because if we succeeded at I, then we will get Kij as a subgraph which by graph excludes. So what I have been conclude from here, okay? In poly time, we will either output no. When will we say no? If there is no vertex of this degree, then you have to say no. Or output a set S such that every optimum solution intersects with S. And what is the size of S? How many size of S will be bounded by I minus 1. So this is my algorithm, okay? So what is my algorithm outputs? Look, it's very intuitive, right? I have a big set, right? So 1 by kth fraction someone must dominate, fine. So either this guy goes into the solution, or set of people whom I dominate, some other guy dominates. So what happens? So gradually by this process, I am trying to build Kij. This is what my whole goal is, right? So in the process, either I am outputting you a set S, I say, hey, one of these vertex must go into your solution, you have no choice, or in the middle you will say that, okay, look, I have a Kij or some, so yes, no, right? And once you found such a set S, reduction rule is very simple. What is the reduction rule? All you want that one of the vertex of S must go into the solution, right? And how will you do that? What is the reduction rule? Look at this. What is the property of this S? There is a some vertex which sees exactly all these guys, right? So what will you do? You take a look. There are lots of vertices here. Delete all the vertex and keep one vertex which exactly sees S as before, right? Now the reduction rule is very trivial, right? Forward direction holds because of your construction. Reverse direction holds because you have put up a vertex with exactly this S as a neighborhood. So you have to pick one guy from here. And if you pick one guy from here, you would have hit everybody else. Okay. We are not done yet. All we have been able to do is to bound the degree of every vertex in red. But if we have been able to bound the degree of every vertex in red, then haven't we bounded blue? Have we bounded blue or not? Look, if there is a vertex of degree more than this, then what happens? Then I can apply my reduction rule, right? So why am I not able to apply? So let's make some conclusion from here. So what is the conclusion after this? No reduction rule implies what? Every vertex in R has degree how much? Most j times k minus 1. So this implies what is blue? Blue is upper bounded by k times j time, let's say j times k power I. Agreed? Because look, this is its maximum degree, and then the k guys can only dominate these people, no? So if b is less than this, otherwise you can say no again, okay? So all we are set to do, now we will apply, what do you call, Sor's lemma, and we will be done. You know what is Sor's lemma is? Okay, forget it. Do you remember Sor's lemma? Sauer lemma? Bounded VC dimension? Okay, we'll do some pigeonhole principle, that's better. Okay, so here is my red, here is my blue. Blue is bounded. Okay, now red is a twinless graph. Look, if there are two guys here with the same neighborhood, delete a vertex in R. Okay, if there exists U and V in R such that n of U is contained inside n of V, delete U. Right? I have applied this reduction rule. Let's now, I am going to bound R in terms of B. If this is the case, I am going to bound R in terms of B. Any suggestion? See, it's a very easy argument. Isn't this very easy argument? After decades of how are we going to bound B? Hmm? B is bounded. I want to bound R. No? Okay. Look at R. Look at B. Okay. I fix a set X here. Okay. Let's fix a set X here for a moment. Okay. Whose size is say greater or equal to I. How many vertices how many vertex are here which sees the neighbor, which sees whole of X? Huh? Okay, great. Otherwise we'll get K I J. Okay. So, aren't we done? Or I am doing other way around. Okay, no, we should be doing other way around because this is what is bounded, but doesn't matter. It's like symmetric. Okay, fine. I know this is bounded, right? So I should do the other way around. Okay, so here we should say J, no? So suppose there is a X whose size is J. How many vertices can be here which sees whole of X? I minus 1. Agreed? Okay, that's it. So we'll do for all X subset of B mod X equal to J, right? Let's define f of X as V in red, n of V contains X. Okay? Okay. J. So how many such sets are there? First of all, mod B choose J, and what is the cardinality of such sets? Huh? Times A for any F and this is upper bounded by I minus 1. Otherwise you will get K I J. So this is I minus 1 plus. Okay. So now let's look at, so I have taken care of all those vertices here who has more than J neighbors, because if they have more than some X they would have been captured in f of X. So only vertices which I have not captured here, right, has at most j minus 1 guys, right? How many such sets are there? Summation I strictly less than j or x strictly less than j mod b choose x. But for such guys, how many vertices have I kept? Exactly one, because if there were two twins I have deleted. So that's it. And how many such sets are there? It is upper bounded by whatever some k. So you will get big O of k I j as kernel. So this is. But remember, that is an idea. Idea is very simple. Okay, all these are maths to work out. What was an idea? If I have a B, I first zoom in with the highest degree guy. Okay, I don't pick you, then there is someone else who sees certain fraction. Okay, if I don't pick you, either of you two, then there is other guy, and I can only continue this process till some depth, and done. Bam. If you wish to, yes, it does give you an algorithm. Yeah, you can branch on them, and or you will get a kernel, or everything is small, so then you can just try all brute force. But we will do much better algorithms. Okay. Okay, questions. So we did sunflower lemma, we did dominating set in all its glory. Okay. Now I am going to do matching based kernels. Okay. So we did sunflower, we did greedy, now we will do some matchings. So you can find these things in the kernelization book. In this chapter it's called sunflower lemma, chapter 8. From here you can find many of these things. Okay. Chapter 8, kernel book. But it's best to work out yourself all these details if you really want to learn these things rather than reading it like a storybook. Okay, so now we'll go back to our local min-max results. Let's see where we headed to. Okay guys, okay. So what I want to do now, so don't look at any tricks or technique as such. What happens is that in many of these tricks and techniques, there are lots of classical min-max result, like minimum thing is equal to maximum thing, like, or local packing. Okay, so what we try to do is that look at our graph and we try to find a place where we can apply, where we can find some small portion, and somehow this small portion is structurally related to the other portion of the graph and where min-max relationship holds. Okay, so this is how one should think about it. And once you think about this in this way, you will see, and there are thousands and thousands of min-max results in combinatorial optimization, you can apply any one of them. Okay, so we have to find such a situation to apply. Okay, so let's see how we apply to vertex cover. Okay, so what is the first step of vertex cover? Find a maximal matching. M. What is its size? If it is more than k, you say no anyway, otherwise this is less than equal to k. Let's VMB vertices in this matching. then what is this graph? If I delete VM, what is left here? Independent set. Great. Excellent. Okay. So now I am only going to consider the following bipartite graph. Forget the edges here. Okay. So now I am going to consider this bipartite graph. VM, I, anyway there are no edges here, independent sets. So I am only going to consider edges which are going across. Okay. Forget edges here. Now what is this graph? This graph is bipartite graph. What do you know about bipartite graph? Okay. Now I can apply Koenig's theorem. Which says what? Minimum vertex cover is equal to maximum matching. Okay, let's find this out. This is my maximum matching. Great, maximum matching, fine. What should I do here? Nothing. Okay, so let's even zoom in further. And assume no isolated vertex, okay, because you can throw them for vertex cover anyway. Okay, so we do not assume any isolated vertex. So this is my maximum matching. What is its size? If it is also more than k plus 1, you could have said dir. So this is also less than equal to k. And let's just find a minimum vertex cover, because this is a bipartite graph, so I can find a minimum vertex cover. Okay. So suppose this is my minimum vertex cover, this is my minimum vertex cover, this is my minimum vertex cover. If this is my minimum vertex cover, from each of this matching edge, how many vertexes will it pick? Huh? Exactly one, because all you said that minimum vertex cover equal to maximum matching, and from each matching edges it must pick one, and its budget is exactly equal to the maximum matching. So from each of these matching edges it is going to pick one vertex. For now, let's assume for a moment that it picks everything from the independent set, this minimum vertex cover. This minimum vertex cover picks everything from I. Suppose, I mean, it's not true, but it could happen, right? Then is my graph bounded? Is my graph bounded then in this case? Huh? What is the size of I then? Right? Look, there are no isolated vertex here, right? There are no isolated vertex, and I did not pick anything from here, then you would have picked everything from here, right? Right? So in this case, I is less than equal to k. So vertex set of M plus I, so vertex set of G is equal to this plus this, which is upper bounded by 3k. Agreed? Okay, excellent. So we are not in this case. Okay. So world looks more different. Fine. So how does world look? This is 2k, this is k. So maybe some green guys are here, right? Otherwise there is nothing, right? So now I am going to turn this graph all over the place. Okay, let's call this set here C. Now what they call H. So what is H? So let's call this minimum vertex cover as W. Okay, so H is W intersection VM, where W is a minimum vertex cover, this green color guys. H is this. Okay, Now this is a matching edge, no? So they have matching partner, right? Let C be the matching partner. C be the matching partner. Okay? So now let's look at how this stupid graph looks like. Okay? Let's look at how this stupid graph looks like. Okay? Here is your H. Here is your C. And what is the property? Every guy from here has a matching that saturates here, H. And the remaining is R. Okay? First of all, notice, are there edges between C and R? Are there edges between C and R? Look, this was an independent set, so you have to be careful, right? So first of all, look at these guys, right? We have to prove to this, like it's not obvious, but look, these guys cannot have edge to R because all the edges which are going between I and VM is here, right? But only thing which can happen is that, and look, this was also an independent set, so there is no edge between here and here. So if I move this guy here, nothing would happen. These guys cannot be creating an edge between here. You understand what I'm saying to you? Okay. But look, now, but look at this guy, it is here, right? But this guy also has gone to the remaining. So what is 0? No edge like this. And what is this? There is a matching that saturates this. So now, what will you do? What is your reduction rule? You will say, hey, take all of H. Why? Because from, this is the local optima, right? Because from each of this matching, you have to pick one, and there is the best way to pick is to pick here. So again, we have applied that there is a local optimum solution which can be extended to a global optimum solution. So take H, and this is exactly what is called crown. What is a crown decomposition of a graph? Crown decomposition of a graph is C partition into C crown head and the remaining, okay, and there are no edge from C to R, and there is a matching that saturates H. So this is what is called crown decomposition, okay. So now we have got a kernel for vertex cover of size at most 3k, and this is exactly what is called crown reduction, right. So you partition your vertex set into C, H and R, and there is a matching, C is an independent set, and there is a matching that saturates H to C. This is exactly. So this is our algorithmic proof, and we have got a 3k size kernel. Agreed? Okay, very nice. Okay. Okay, let's do something easy first, okay? Then we will do something difficult. It was easy. I'm sure you have seen this before. Okay. Okay, so let me give you a okay. So remember this longest cycle problem parameterized by vertex cover. Do you remember from the morning? What was that? Input was G vertex cover L. Okay. Question was, does G has a cycle of length at least L? Right? And our parameter was K, that is equal to vertex cover. And we got a kernel of size how much? Huh? Loud, loud. Can you get it to order K square? With what we just did. घर कब जा रही है? हाँ 5 बजे। जाओ जाओ। मैं भी पढ़ा रहा हूँ। चाय पियोगे? फ्री का चाय है, पी लो। वो है ना, अरे वहीं तो है चाय है, पी लो। मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ सुबह से। वो सामने तो है।
उसकी खुद के क्लास के लिए चाय भी बना या कैसा हुआ है?
सुबह से 4.5 घंटा 6 घंटा पढ़ाओ बैठ के, तब बना लो। बच्चों को पढ़ा, हाँ
उसके लिए चाय बना
नहीं, बैचेस को पढ़ाओ। देखो पूरे देश से बच्चे आए पढ़ने के लिए।
बेचारे बच्चे उनका पूरा खर्च
हाँ
एग्जाम दे रहे थे।
नहीं, पढ़ा रहे हो, सोचने के 5 मिनट
5 घंटा से उन लोगों को पढ़ा रहा हूँ। कभी नहीं करेंगे कुछ एकेडमिक्स
मत करें। मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? अगले वीक से नॉर्मल कोर्स पढ़ाना कर सकता हूँ। पियो पियो। So Yogesh, any idea? Okay, so what were we doing? What we did in the previous algorithm, kernel. For every pair we try to keep some things, no? So let's make, so if I told you that you have to apply matching, what kind of auxiliary bipartite graph will you consider? Right? So we just do this, right? So here I have C choose 2, like there's a vertex for, like, and I also keep vertices for the same vertex, and not only pair, like unordered pair, x y x x something, and here you have your I, okay, and how will you give an edge? So suppose here you have a pair x comma y, and here you have v. So if you give an edge x comma y to v, if n of x intersection n of y, v is an element of. That's it. So this is my graph, auxiliary graph. Okay. If there exists a matching that saturates A, implies what? Does it imply anything at all? What does it imply? Look. Suppose I is greater than equal to A, otherwise there is nothing to prove. Agreed? We have got our bound and we are happy. So if this is the case, then you can always find a set here with the following property. Okay? What is the property? You apply Hall's theorem. What does Hall's theorem tells you? Right? Either there exists a matching that saturates you, it doesn't matter, or you will, why there is no matching that saturates you? Because there is an expanding set here. What is meaning of expanding set? There is a set here whose neighborhood is smaller, and if I take, okay, so by Hall's theorem there exists a set X subset of A, there exists a minimal set X subset of A such that neighborhood of X is less than equal to x first of all. Okay, neighborhood is smaller than cardinality of x, and what else? Suppose there is not a matching that saturates A, what can you say then by Hall's theorem?
Shouldn't be for all.
Where do I find, I mean look, where do I try to find matching from whom to whom do I saturate? Nobody is telling me. Which side is bigger? I is bigger. So there's a set with a smaller neighborhood. So I should be looking for, look, I is greater than equal to A, and I am looking for, I should not say this, okay, can I say this? There exists X subset of I such that Y, which is neighborhood of X, is of this is less than mod X. Can I say this? And X is here only because this is a neighborhood of X. So what did you achieve? Notice here. Here you have A, here we have I. These pens have stopped working. Idiotic. Okay. So here I found my X who has a smaller neighborhood. This is my Y. And what else? It's a minimal set. It means if you delete any vertex, there is a matching that saturates X. So it's like this. It's like this. Okay. And here's a W. What should I do as a reduction rule? Delete W. Do you see what is happening? Now, look at a cycle. Look at a cycle. These are pairs. These are pairs, right? I removed W. But W was looking at only these people, no? Look, neighborhood of X is this. This guy is not looking here. So what I will do here, fine. Okay. So this guy neighborhood is only these pairs, no? So there is some pair whose neighborhood is this, right? But for them and for this guy, I will replace with a corresponding guy, fine. But this guy could have been paired with someone else, okay, fine. But for that guy, there is another guy here. So you have to do transformation not with one guy, but with everybody here, right? So maybe when I replace it here, oh, this created a trouble because he was neighbor to someone else, fine, then someone else here. But ultimately you will fix them up because these guys only see here, and that's it. So like these are like just a local exchange argument, there is nothing more happening here. So you look at this set, right? If I is more than A, then you will always find a set here whose neighborhood is smaller here, and there is a matching that saturates this set. Now I look at my cycle, okay, and I remove this vertex W. So my reduction rule will be remove W, okay. Now I take my cycle in my original graph. If in the reverse graph I have a cycle, means there is a cycle because it's a subgraph. Now I deleted W. Why did I delete W? But look at its two neighbors. So its two neighbors is one of these pairs. But that guy is matched to someone else, right? There is a matching partner of him. I replace him. But now I replace him, then maybe this guy already occurs on this cycle, then I go and delete him. Look at this pair. But this pair is one of these guys only, right? It cannot be this because he was matching to this guy. So it is someone else. So now you go and replace the corresponding matching guy here, go on. So you can do transformation not once at a time but a lot at a time and reduce everything. योगेश क्या हुआ भाई, ठीक है? Work it out. I'm just giving you argument, okay? Okay. I want to go back to deheating set, okay? So if you recall, for deheating set, say for 3 heating set, what was the size of the kernel? Huh? KQ elements and KQ sets, right? This is our kernel. For vertex cover, what did we make? 3k vertices, k square edges. Okay? But you know what is the best known kernel for deheating set? Is k power d minus 1 sets, sorry, elements and k power d sets. Let me show you how to do this for 3 heating set. Please pay attention, okay? This is called method of redundant solution. How many of you know a 3 approximation for 3 heating set? Do you know 3 approximation for 3 heating set? Three approximation of them for 3 heating set? No? Okay. Pick a set. Delete all the elements of this particular set because one of these elements must go into the solution, no? And delete all the sets which are hit by these sets. Pick another set, do this. Is that okay? Factor 3 approximation? Okay. I want to do this. So, okay. So, I found first S. What is the size of S? At most 3k. Otherwise, you say no. I want to check, is there a solution without a particular element? Okay? This is what I mean redundant solution. Even if I delete one vertex, it is still a solution. How can I check this? You understand my question? I give you an element, okay? And I want to check, is it important for my solution or is there a solution without him? So for 3 heating set, it is very easy. Pick this element, delete it from the universe, okay? Delete it from the every set. Now you find a factor 3 approximation for this instance. If it gives you a 3k size solution, then you know there is a solution without him of size at most 3k. But suppose solution increased suddenly, what do you say then?
It has to be in all solutions.
Then it has to be in solution of size at most k. So this is what my reduction rule is. So for every element V, either I get set SV of size at most 3k, V not element of S, right? And SV is a heating set, or what can be concluded? This vertex must belong to a heating set of size at most k, then delete it. That's your reduction rule. Agreed? Okay, excellent. Okay. So now for every vertex, so I cannot apply anymore. It means for every vertex, I have found a corresponding set SV, which is a 3 heating set that doesn't contain V. And I have been able to do this for every vertex. Now what is the property of any set F in family? Can you say something? I claim that every set F in F is intersected twice by this. Why? First by the first guy, right? And second, without him I found a solution. Look, I am not telling that these sets are pairwise disjoint or they do not intersect with this. All I'm saying that from this union of these sets, they intersect twice. Every set intersects twice. Okay? Okay, good. So notice here, how many such guys are there? How many such guys are there? Look, for V and a W, how many such pairs are there? There are 3k guys here. For each, there are 3k guys here. So there are 3 into k square pairs, or called critical pairs. Let's call them critical pairs. Here, 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 here. I'm not taking their union and doing pair. Then otherwise we will be done, dead. It will be k power 4. Okay. Now what I do, I make a bipartite graph. A, B is my universe. Okay. And what does A contains? All these critical pairs. Okay. All these critical pairs. And now here, B is my universe. I give an edge between this critical pair and this element if there is a set F that contains these 3 things. An edge between critical pair XY and element Z if X, Y, Z is in F. That's it. This is the way I'm going to make my bipartite graph. Okay. When are we done? I claim that if the B is less than equal to A, then aren't we done? Because how many pairs were there in A? K square. But look, this is why I did not take the union. Because if I would have taken the union of the elements which are K square and taken every pair, then that would have been K power 4. But what we have done is that for every vertex, I have taken the critical pair as V and one of the elements of its corresponding set. V and one of the elements, so this is the critical pair. Another like this, like this. Okay. Otherwise, we will apply expansion lemma again, or so otherwise B is more than A. It means what will we find? We will find a set X here, set Y here, with the property is what? Set Y here, such that let's zoom into Y, let's zoom into X, okay, and it's a critical guy. So there is a matching that saturates this guy, and there is some guy which is not being saturated, right? And what else is the property? Neighborhood of X is exactly equal to Y. So X doesn't see anybody here. Elements are in F only with these critical pairs. That's it. So now now what I would like to do, I would like to delete this X from my universe. This is my reduction rule. So this W, so what is my reduction rule will be? U comma F comma K is given to me. I would like to prove U minus W, and I will tell you what I mean by F minus W comma K. Means you go through F, wherever W appears in any set, just delete it. So this is what my reduction rule is. Right? If I prove this is correct, then we are done, because when this reduction rule cannot be applied, this is this. How are we going to prove this? Which direction is easy? Is any direction easy? Is there any direction easy? Why?
Just found one element, so but still there is a hitting set.
Okay, first let's try to prove something more fundamental, and again I am going to apply local minima is local maxima. Do one thing first of all, sets which I have size 2, forget them first for a moment, because how many sets of size 2 are there? Look, there could be lots of sets of size 2, we will worry about them later. So first let us try to reduce. Look, if there are sets of size 2, where are they? If there are sets of size 2, they are already contained here, right? So we will forget them, sets of size. So only sets which are represented here has size exactly equal to 3. Okay. Now notice one thing, this element is matched to this guy. This element is matched to this guy. It means any solution, look at the forward direction, look at any solution S. It's a 3 hitting set solution, right? So from either this element will be picked or one of these 2 elements will be picked. Agreed? Right? And this is true about every set here. Right? So what I am going to do in the case, look, and this is true. So what I am going to do is that if you are going to pick any element here, I say just forget that guy and just arbitrarily pick element here. By doing this, I will not increase the solution size. But what I have done, I have told you that these elements are not required for hitting sets. I mean, I am not saying that, look, what is happening? From each of these, think of this way, these are 2 guys and there is a 3rd guy. You have picked him, but this guy only sees roots with this. So take every element here and just map it to some element 2 size sets here, if at all there is one. You get my point? No. Okay. So what I am saying, look at your S. Okay. Now look at Y, there are pairs, right? Look at S, my claim is that S will hit each of these pairs. Suppose it does not hit some pair here. What is the meaning of this? It means it contains an element from here. I am telling you, forget that element and pick an element from here. That is all that I am saying, right? What is my claim? Claim there exists S that intersects all pairs in Y. This is my claim. Is that claim correct or is that claim not correct? Okay. Suppose not, means these 2 elements are not picked. It means the 3rd element is picked. My claim is, okay, fine, for this guy just go and pick the corresponding any element, I don't care. Oh, there is another guy which has been picked here, go and pick someone else here. Now notice that once you hit all these pairs, you would have hit all the sets in which these guys participate, because these guys are critical pairs for all the sets in which these elements participates. So that is why I can prove that if there exists a S that intersects all pairs in Y, implies that S is a hitting set for the reduced instance. Okay. Is that correct? Is that fine? Okay. I have only deleted one element, W. And why? So just think about it, why it is true, right? Look, all I am saying, if S already is a hitting set for this guy, I have nothing to worry. But if it is not a hitting set, look at the pairs which it does not hit. Suppose it does not hit this pair, and this pair. It does not hit. It means these 2 elements are like, it means, but there is a matching that saturates him. So there is an F which contains these 2 elements and this element. It means that element is picked. There is a set which contains these 2 elements and this, but this element is picked. There's a set which contains these two elements, but this element is big. And what I'm saying, forget these three guys, pick these elements, any one of them arbitrarily. You might have picked, you could reduce the solution size, but you can never increase the solution size. And so this S will become a hitting set of Y minus W, F minus W, because what we did, all the sets for which this you remove W has these as critical pairs, and for that you have made a hitting set. Reverse direction, okay, fine, you have solution to this. Now look at W, look at all the sets in which he is participants with, those are critical pairs, there anyway occurs here which has been hit. So this is done. Now you can generalize this argument to get k power d minus 1 sets. Okay, fine. Question, Yogesh, is it okay, not okay? Fine, okay. So now I want to design kernel for feedback vertex set using method of redundant solution. So just know that feedback vertex set also has a factor 2 approximation. In fact, weighted feedback vertex set has a factor 2 approximation. Weighted feedback vertex set can be approximated within factor 2. So I apply this approximation algorithm A. I get a solution F. If F has size at most 2k, fine, otherwise say no. Otherwise, for every V in Vg, I'm going to create what? A set Fv such that V is not in Fv and Fv is a feedback vertex set of G, and Fv has size some order k. Okay, we will see this. In fact, it will be 2k. Okay, for all V in Vg minus F, what is Fv? What is my goal? For all Vg, I want to find a Fv such that V is not in Fv and F is the feedback vertex set of G. So if V is in Vg minus F, then what can I take Fv equal to? F. Good. Now suppose V is in F. Okay, now V is in F. I try to check. What I do, I put weight of V equal to 1000k, okay, and I run my weighted feedback vertex set approximation algorithm. What will it tell me? If there exists a feedback vertex set of size k which does not contain V, then I will get a solution of size how much? 2k. If there exists a FVS of size at most k that do not contain V, then A will return a solution of size weight at most 2k, right, because there is someone which does not contain, then it will approximate that because I have put too much of a weight here. Else V is in feedback vertex set of size at most k. Delete V, reduce k by 1. This is my reduction rule. So I keep doing this. So if I cannot do this, what will happen? I will find an FV. Otherwise I will find a feedback vertex set that does not contain V because I put weight of V 1000k, right, and that is a feedback vertex set that do not contain V. Okay. So what will happen if this reduction rule cannot be applied? For every V I have Fv, V is not in Fb, Fb has size at most 2k and FB is a feedback vertex set. This is my property. Okay. Now I am going to reduce the degree of every vertex in my graph, and if I reduce the degree to poly k, I am done. Okay. So now here is your FB. Here is your FB. Okay, and here is, so look at, so what is this part of the graph? Please tell me. This is what? This is a forest. I delete V and look at the connected components here. Right? There are some connected, so tell me, can V have more than one edges to any connected component? No, because if it has two edges, then there is a cycle that avoids FV, and FV is a feedback vertex set. So it has edges like this. Maybe there are some components it does not have edges. I do not care about this, because anyway, what is the degree of V? These edges and the edges to FV. Agreed? This is the degree of FV. Okay. So I do some just marking. Okay. I pick a W here. Okay. I pick a W here. Okay. I look at how many components it sees. Okay. I pick W and I mark some k plus 2 components, say k plus 3 components. If it sees more, I don't care. I pick this vertex, mark some k plus 3 components. I pick another W2 here, okay, I mark some k plus 3 components. So keep doing this for everybody. And if someone sees less than that, then I do. So what do you know? If this number of components here were more than FV times say k plus 3, then there is a component which is not marked. Right? If this happens, implies there exists a component that is not marked. Agreed? Let's suppose this is that component. I am telling you delete this edge, and that is my reduction rule. This is it. Okay. So what is my reduction rule? My reduction rule is G comma K, G minus say VW, edge comma K. Forward direction is obvious. If G has a feedback vertex set of size at most K, then clearly this has a feedback vertex set of size at most K, because it is subgraph. But why it is the other way around true? That's not obvious, no, why other way around is true. Okay. So suppose let F be a FVS of G prime. Suppose F is not FVS, suppose F is not an FVS of G. Okay. But let us see what happens intuitively. What is happening? Look at this component for which you have deleted an edge. Right? Why it was not marked? Look at the people whom he sees. These guys are seeing k plus 2 guys. Right? All the guys from here which this component sees, they all are seeing k plus 3 guys, or k plus 2, say k plus 3, right? So notice there is a V and there is a W1 here which this component sees. This guy is seeing k plus 3 guys. Tuck, 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 tuck. If V goes into the solution, there is nothing, no problem at all, because that edge will go. But if V does not go, you have to pick W1. Why? Otherwise, how will you kill this k plus 3 cycles? That is the argument which I want to use. If you do not pick V, then you have to pick all the neighbors which sees him, because each of them is like a, think of this way, that I have a flow between two vertices of size k plus 3. So you have to pick one of these two guys. You cannot kill all the cycles passing through them if there is a flow of k plus 3 between any two vertex. And between V and W1 we have created a flow of size k plus 3. Okay, so that's an idea. Okay. So if it is, suppose f is a Vs of G, right? Now notice what happens. Okay, suppose f is a Vs of f is a Vs of G prime. F is not a Vs of G. Okay, what is the meaning of this? It means it must be using, this cycle must be using this edge, right? V curly bracket some component, but look, it means V is not part of my solution, right? If V would have been part of the solution, this edge wouldn't even exist even in G, so we shouldn't be worrying about. But now look at W1, his neighbors. You did not mark him because he saw k plus 3 guys here. Hey guys, come on. Then this guy has no right to exist. This guy would have been gone. So there is no way that this guy can complete to any cycle and you are done. Okay, so that's it. So what did we learn from this? We learned from this that degree of V is upper bounded by this into k plus 3 or k plus 2 something, which is like 2k square or something, which implies if Vs is a kernel of size how much from the morning? K cube. No expansion lemma.